Section 1, work ethic, the heart of the matter. Let's be clear, I've worked my share of dirty jobs. I've seen firsthand what it takes to build something, to create value with your own two hands. And what I've learned is this: there's no substitute for hard work. No government program, no utopian ideology can replace the grit and determination it takes to succeed. Capitalism, at its core, is about ownership. You own your labor, you own your ideas, and you reap the rewards of your efforts. Socialism, on the other hand, promises equality but often delivers stagnation. It takes away the incentive to strive, to innovate, to reach for something more. This isn't about rich versus poor or left versus right. It's about human nature. It's about the fire that burns within us to build, to create, to leave our mark on the world. And that fire burns brightest when we're free to pursue our own destinies, to take risks, and to learn from our failures. In the end, it's not about systems or ideologies. It's about the choices we make, the work we're willing to put in, and the responsibility we take for our own lives. That's the dirty truth, and it's something we all need to remember. Section 2, America's drive, building an empire. Look at America. Built by dreamers and doers, by immigrants and entrepreneurs who risked everything for a shot at a better life. It wasn't handouts that built this country, it was hustle. It was the unshakable belief that with enough sweat and determination, you could build something great. From the railroads that spanned the continent to the tech giants of Silicon Valley, American history is a testament to the power of individual initiative. Sure, there were bumps along the way, but the spirit of capitalism, the drive to build and innovate, always prevailed. Now, I'm not saying America's perfect. We've got our share of problems. But the core principle that made this country great, rewarding hard work and innovation, that's something worth fighting for. It's something we can't afford to lose sight of. Section 3, India's rise from socialism to software. India is another great example. For years, they were bogged down by socialist policies, with government controlling vast swaths of the economy. Growth was stifled, innovation was limited. But then, things started to change. They liberalized their economy, unleashed the power of the free market, and boom. India's become a global powerhouse, particularly in tech and engineering. They're proving that when you empower people to pursue their own economic destinies, amazing things can happen. It's not a coincidence that as India embraced market reforms, millions were lifted out of poverty. Capitalism, for all its flaws, has a proven track record of generating wealth and opportunity. Section 4, Brazil's struggle, potential versus reality. Now let's talk about Brazil, a country with incredible natural resources, a vibrant culture, and massive potential. But for decades, they've been grappling with the legacy of socialist policies, with corruption and inefficiency holding them back. They've made strides, no doubt, but the potential of the Brazilian people is still largely untapped. Too much government control, too much bureaucracy. It's like they're putting roadblocks in the path of their own success. Brazil shows us that even with all the ingredients for success, the wrong system can stifle growth and leave people struggling. It's a cautionary tale about the importance of getting the fundamentals right. Section 5, China's illusion capitalism dressed in red. China's a tricky one. They like to call themselves communist, but let's be real. They're running a capitalist system on steroids. They've embraced markets, competition, and global trade, and their economy has exploded as a result. But here's the catch. They've got this authoritarian government calling all the shots. They suppress dissent, restrict freedoms, and manipulate their currency to gain an advantage. It's a dangerous game they're playing. China's economic success is undeniable, but it's built on a foundation of control and coercion. They've shown that you can juice the system with authoritarian tactics, but at what cost? That's the question the world is watching. Section 6, the Soviet mirage, empty promises, empty shelves. Now let's talk about a place where socialism really went wrong, the Soviet Union. They promised equality, they promised prosperity, but they delivered breadlines and oppression. The whole system was built on a lie. Without the engine of individual initiative and the freedom to innovate, the Soviet economy stagnated. People were trapped in a system that stifled their creativity and punished their ambition. The result, economic collapse and a crumbling empire. The Soviet Union stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked government control and the human cost of sacrificing freedom for the illusion of equality. It's a lesson we can't afford to forget. Section 7. Kenya's Unfulfilled Promise, a Cautionary Tale. Kenya, a country with so much potential, has struggled to find its footing. They've tried to balance socialist policies with free market reforms, but corruption and mismanagement have held them back. Despite a young and vibrant population, Kenya's economy has been plagued by cronyism and a lack of opportunity. It's a reminder that simply adopting a system on paper isn't enough. You need the right values, the right leadership, and a commitment to the rule of law. Kenya's story is still being written, but it highlights the importance of getting the fundamentals right. Without a strong foundation of transparency, accountability, and individual initiative, even the best-laid plans can go astray. Section 8. Democracy, a tool, not a solution. Now let's talk about democracy. It's a powerful tool, no doubt, but it's not a magic bullet. Democracy can be messy, it can be inefficient, and it can be manipulated. Just look at the political gridlock in the US, or the rise of populism around the world. Democracy's only as good as the people participating in it. If folks are more worried about handouts than hard work, if they're more interested in dividing the pie than growing it, then democracy won't save you. In fact, it can make things worse. Democracy needs a strong foundation of individual responsibility, civic engagement, and a shared commitment to the common good. Without those things, it's just a fancy word for mob rule. Section 9. The power of ownership, unleashing human potential. Here's the thing about ownership, it changes everything. When you own something, you care for it differently. You're more invested in its success. You're more likely to take risks, to innovate, to put in the extra effort. That's true whether we're talking about a business, a piece of property, or even an idea. Ownership empowers people. It gives them skin in the game. And when people have skin in the game, they're more likely to make responsible choices that benefit themselves and their communities. That's the power of capitalism. It recognizes the fundamental human desire for agency, for control over one's own destiny. It's messy, it's imperfect, but it taps into something powerful within us. Section 10. The price of freedom, risk and reward. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Capitalism ain't always fair. There are winners and losers. There's risk involved. You might work your tail off and still not get ahead, but that's part of the deal. Freedom ain't free. It comes with responsibility. It requires us to make tough choices, to learn from our mistakes, and to never give up on our dreams. It's not about handouts, it's about opportunity. It's about creating a system where everyone has a chance to succeed, not a guarantee. Capitalism isn't a promise of easy riches. It's a challenge, a call to action. It's about embracing the grind, learning from our failures, and building a better future for ourselves and our children. Section 11. The future belongs to the bold, embracing the grind. So what's the takeaway? The world's a complex place, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. But history teaches us that systems that empower individuals, that encourage innovation, and that reward hard work tend to outperform those that don't. The future belongs to the builders, the makers, the doers. It belongs to those who are willing to roll up their sleeves, get their hands dirty, and build something great. It's about embracing the grind, taking ownership of our lives, and never giving up on the promise of a better tomorrow. That's the message I want to leave you with. Get out there, make your mark, and never be afraid to get your hands dirty. The world needs more builders, more creators, more doers. It needs you.